5 things I wish I knew earlier about modern relationships.
My friend texted me at midnight last week. She'd been with her boyfriend for 3 years, and she said, "I think I've been lonely the entire time." That hit different because most relationships don't end with a fight. They end with silence you didn't notice building. If this feels familiar, keep watching. Let's talk about it. Here's the first thing I wish I understood sooner. 1. Women notice emotional distance first. Here's a stat that surprises people. Around 70% of modern divorces are initiated by women, not because they give up faster, but because they notice the cracks first. Think about friendships. There's usually one person who notices first when the effort starts fading. Messages get shorter, plans stop happening, check-ins disappear. They're not being dramatic, they're just paying attention. Relationships work the same way. A girl I know said her ex would come home every day. She'd ask, "How was work?" He'd say, "Fine," for 6 months straight. She told me, "I knew we were over when fine became his only word." Emotional distance doesn't start suddenly. It builds quietly, one fine at a time. Tonight, ask your partner one real question. Not, "How was your day?" Try this instead. "What's been on your mind lately?" Then actually listen. No phone, no planning your response. Just listen. Distance grows in silence. If this is hitting close, stay with me, because the next one explains why people stay even when they're unhappy. This one keeps people stuck for years. 2. People stay out of fear, not love. Nearly 50% of people admit they stayed too long in a relationship. And when you ask why, it's not love, it's fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over. It's like staying in a job you hate because you're already familiar with the environment. That's the sunk cost illusion, but with your happiness. My cousin stayed with someone for 2 years after she knew it was over. I asked her why. She said, "I didn't know who I was without him anymore." When she finally left, 3 months later she told me, "I forgot what it felt like to just breathe." Staying feels safe, until you realize safe and stuck feel identical. Ask yourself one honest question tonight. If nothing changed for a year, would I actually be okay with that? If you hesitated, that's your answer. Comfort can quietly trap you. And here's where things get really interesting, because most arguments aren't even about what you think. This one changes how you see every fight. 3. Arguments aren't about the topic. Over 60% of relationship arguments aren't actually about the topic. They're about tone, timing, feeling dismissed. You ask, "Why didn't you text me back?" Sounds like a simple question, but what you're really saying is, "I felt unimportant today." The topic is texting. The real issue is feeling forgotten. A friend once told me she broke up with someone over dishes. Not really. It was because every time she brought it up, he'd say, "Relax, I'll do them." She said, "I wasn't mad about dishes. I was mad that relax meant my feelings didn't matter." See? It's never about the thing, the dishes. It's about what the thing represents, the feelings. So here's the shift. Next time you're upset, pause and ask yourself, what am I actually upset about right now? Then, instead of saying, "You never help around the house," try this. "When I keep reminding you about the dishes, it makes me feel like I'm nagging instead of being supported. It makes me feel like I'm doing this alone." And that's what actually hurts. When you say the real feeling out loud, the conversation stops being about dishes, and that's when things start to change. And if you think that's powerful, there's one habit that quietly prevents breakups. Almost no one does it. This one feels uncomfortable, and that's why it works. 4. One hard conversation a week saves the relationship. Here's the stat that changes everything. Couples who have one hard conversation a week are about 35% more likely to stay together. Not date nights, not grand gestures, hard conversations. You know that feeling when there's something you need to deal with and you keep putting it off? Not because you don't care, but because it feels uncomfortable, and the stress just keeps building. That's what happens when you avoid relationship talks. One unspoken resentment becomes 5. 5 becomes constant tension. I know a couple who started doing Sunday check-ins. 15 minutes, no phones. They ask things like, How are you feeling about us this week? Is there anything I did that hurt you? What do you need more of from me? They said it felt awkward for the first month. Now, they've been together 6 years, and they still do it every Sunday. Avoidance doesn't protect the relationship, it erodes it. Pick one day this week, set a timer for 15 minutes, ask your partner, how are we doing? Really? Or how are you feeling about us lately? And try asking, is there anything you need more of from me right now? And say this, you can start, I'm listening. People don't stay the same forever. What they care about shifts. What they need changes. Checking in is how you make sure you're still growing in the same direction, or at least meeting in the middle. And don't defend, don't explain, just listen first. Discomfort now prevents damage later. But even if you do all of this, there's one mistake that can still ruin everything. This one causes more resentment than people realize. 5. Your partner can't read your mind. About 40% of people expect their partner to just know what they're feeling. No explanation, no conversation, just telepathy. You've had a long day, work was heavy, life stuff piled up. You come home quiet. Your partner asks, you okay? You say, I'm fine, but you're not, and now you're upset that they didn't push harder. See the problem? You gave them the wrong information, then got mad when they believed you. My best friend did this for months. She'd be upset. Her boyfriend would ask what's wrong. She'd say nothing, then complain later that he didn't care. I finally told her, he's not psychic, he's just taking you at your word. Usually, men are not good at mind reading. It's not a love language. Clarity is. Tonight, if you need something, say it. If you're upset, name it. Don't test them to see if they'll figure it out. Try this instead. Hey, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. Can we talk for 5 minutes? One clear sentence prevents hours of tension. Clarity beats assumptions every time. So where does this leave us? Let's pull this together. Here's what matters. Emotional distance builds quietly. Notice it early. Don't stay out of fear. Being alone beats being lonely together. Most fights aren't about the topic. Name the real issue. One hard conversation a week changes everything. And say what you need. Your partner can't read your mind. These aren't just tips. They're the difference between surviving a relationship and actually thriving in one. Here's your challenge. Don't try all 5. Pick one and try it tonight. Have the hard conversation. Ask the real question. Say what you actually need instead of hoping they'll guess. One small shift changes everything. Which one are you trying tonight? If this helped you, save this video and send it to someone who needs to hear it. That friend who's been fine for months? Yeah, send it to them. And if you're up for it, leave a comment with the one thing that stood out to you. And if you want more real talk like this, no fluff, just depth, subscribe to Subtle Wins. We drop videos like this every week. I'll see you in the next one.